Hi, this is Joseph Williams, son of John Williams, and you are watching the Nerf Herder Council.
What is up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of the Nerf Herder Council. I am your host, JT. We are live on Facebook and YouTube. We are live at those two locations every other Wednesday at 8:15 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We are brought to you by Audible. Go to audibletrial.com/NHC for your 30-day trial and a free audiobook download. If you would like some customizable Nerf Herder Council swag, which AJ will show you in just a little bit, just go to shop.nerfherdercouncil.com. If you would like to catch video replays of the show, just check out our YouTube channel. And while you are there, do not forget to click those like and subscribe buttons so that you are notified every single time we go live. And if you'd like to download audio versions of the podcast, well, you know how to do it, and we're everywhere. So let's bring AJ onto the show. How is it going, man? Before we get started, I pimped it out in the intro. You've got that fancy motorized moving desk. Why don't you move that down and show everybody that? Oh, you're just going to step backwards. Okay. That beautiful new Nerf Herder Council shirt. I love it. I got to get me one of them.
Yours for the low price of $22 plus shipping.
Well, there you go.
Unless there's a sale, so you can always sign up for sale alerts at tpublic.com, and they usually go down to like 14 then. It's like a really good deal.
I think it's
and
cool.
It's no money out of our pocket, so I can pimp it all I want.
I think it looks great, man. Plus, God bless America. You can get any kind of like design or, t-shirt wise or, hoodies or coffee mugs and all kinds of goofy stuff. So pretty cool. So, all right. So right off the bat, our good friend Kale McLeish, good to see you, buddy. First of all, he says, could we please do a short recap of the previous episode? That was actually going to be the way I was going to start out tonight, AJ. So, I'm going to do mine 13 through 22, I believe it is. Or actually, it's 12 through 22. And I believe the way you were counting last time, you're going to do 72 through 48, but only by prime numbers divided by 3? Is that?
Oh, I found a new way to screw it up, actually. As we were talking last time, I realized that actually I was doing it right the whole time. I just can't count.
Yeah, that was not good, dude. That not Well,
I did it so wrong. I did it right and didn't know it.
Man. So I'm going to go from the bottom of my list. I'm going to start with the worst one for me so that we can recap which movies we've already selected. So starting at the bottom, number 23, and moving up at 23. Do you have your list in front of you, by the way, before I start this?
I do.
All right, let's each give ours, and then we'll go up the list. So my number 23 was The Incredible Hulk. What was your number 23?
The Incredible Hulk.
All right. My number 22 was Spider-Man Far From Home. What was your number 22?
Thor: The Dark World.
Okay. My number 21 was Thor: The Dark World. So what did you have at 21?
Captain Marvel. I'm going to get a lot of hate for that one, I know.
Interesting. Okay. At number 20, I have Iron Man 3. What did you have at number 20?
Also Iron Man 3.
Okay. At 19, I had Ant-Man and the Wasp. What did you have at number 19?
Spider-Man Far From Home.
Okay. My number 18 was Avengers Age of Ultron. What was your number 18?
Iron Man 2.
Okay. My number 17, this pains me to say it, Captain America Civil War. What was your number 17?
Oof. Yeah, I remember that one from the last episode. I was surprised I ranked it higher than you did.
Yeah.
No, I have Avengers Age of Ultron at this spot.
Okay. My number 16, which was not very popular with you, Thor Ragnarok. What did you have at number 16?
Yeah, I should dump you for that. But anyway, Ant-Man and the Wasp.
Okay. My number 15 was Spider-Man Homecoming. What was your number 15?
The original Thor.
Okay. That one surprised me. I have to admit. My number 14 was Ant-Man. What was your number 14?
Ant-Man.
Okay.
So 3 of these we are spot on with, and we're only like a spot off on a couple others. So
my number 13 was Thor. Your number 13 was?
Captain America: Civil War.
And my number 12 was Iron Man 2. What was your number 12?
Captain America, the First Avenger.
You dirty bastard. So that's a perfect time to bring up Mimar's comment. She says, can I customize swag to read AJ is wrong? Mimar, we will find a way because you are dead accurate with that.
You know, legit, like tweet us. Tweet either of us. Why are our names not showing up, by the way? Does that go away when we bring up comments? Because we've got our Twitter handles in there. Okay, yeah. Tweet it either one of us, and I swear I will put that together. If you want to buy that shirt, I will make it happen.
It'll be a shirt for a one-off. Mimar, you'll be the only person on the planet to have that. Although actually, I might buy one myself. But our good buddy KXM is here. KXM Scary says, "What's up, guys? What's up? Good to see you." Oh my gosh! All right, so we've gone through the bottom of our list, and now we are starting at number 11 and going up to number 1. So I got to tell you real quick before we start this, I love the background that you made for this, but I wasn't thinking very much, and I used a kind of a busy background on one side for my green screen, so there's a lot going on my side of the screen. I should have done something a little simpler.
That's all good.
All righty. I'm going to let you go first. So
Okay.
at number 11, what do you have?
Rogue One in IMAX, because you're not going to bring it up on the show. So I just wanted to rub it in that I saw it and you didn't.
Oh, you punk ass. We will talk
for those
about
of you
that
who
after.
Don't know. Oh, you want to pin that?
Yeah, we'll do that after the Marvel thing, since we already started getting into this. We don't want to kind of sidetrack ourselves.
See, this is why we need a producer. You can cut this part out of the audio. Anyway,
right. It's all good. This is what we do.
So I had Spider-Man: Homecoming here at this spot. We're getting into the top half where they're not bad movies. It's just one's better than another. So, I mean, I know you're not a big fan of Spider-Man, but I thought this was a really fun way to do the character. I think Tom Holland's an awesome Spider-Man.
Okay.
And I mean, Michael Keaton as the Vulture was awesome too. So I think they kind of nailed it all the way around.
Yeah,
Now tell me why I'm wrong.
No, dude, I like that movie. I think you said something, prescient a minute ago when you said we're in the top half, so it's not. Don't give me that look. I know words like that, you stupid ass.
Yeah, but
yeah,
I mean, look at our audience, man. I should probably put the definition of that in the chat for them or something.
Our audience is smarter than we are.
They're watching this show, so that's proof positive you're wrong.
Hey, we'd like them to keep watching the show. Don't be insulting them. Yeah, no, I see. You said that we're at the top half, so all these movies are good and they're entertaining and whatnot. I kind of think that about most of the list. To me, they're all
The
very
bar is
entertaining.
really high. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's I think we've said it on the show before. Marvel films are kind of like pizza. Even when it's bad, it's good. So as much as we both dislike the Incredible Hulk, I mean, you could do a lot worse if you just want to put on kind of like a mindless action movie. I mean, there's a lot crappier things that you could choose. So I think, a lot of these movies, are really good, and some of them are just better than others. And, again, as I said on the previous episode, part 1, mine goes to kind of like watchability. And when I rank these, it's kind of like, okay, I think of it, I'm like, okay, the one above it, would I rather watch that more? And I say, yeah, and then I kind of go from there and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So,
Yep.
I don't blame you for putting Homecoming there.
All right. So what have you got?
I have Captain Marvel. I actually really like that one. My favorite part of this movie is I like the kind of switcheroo that they pulled, where who you think is the villain is actually the ones being protected or needs saved. I thought it was cool. It was kind of the anti-Mandarin to me. It was like a swerve in a Marvel movie that I was like, oh, that's great. That's really cool. Whereas in, Iron Man 3, when the Mandarin wasn't the Mandarin, he was just some actor. I was like, oh, this sucks. So, Captain Marvel kind of did the opposite for me. I always get him backwards. It's the which ones are the ones being protected? The Skrull or the?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I always mess that up, but yeah, I just really enjoy that. I love the swerve, and I thought it was really cool, and it really added kind of like an emotional aspect for me that wasn't there when the movie started. So I thought that was a really cool way to pull it off. So that was interesting. So yeah, my number 11 is Captain Marvel. So moving on to number 10. What do you have at 10?
At 10, it's funny. It's so hard to rank these things that sometimes, like, even just in the 2 weeks, I wish I didn't put this one here because I would like to have bumped something else up in its place. But Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2.
Okay.
I like it, but I don't think it really deserves to be this high in my list, but it is. So
you changed it.
It just gets it, yeah. Because, like, I remember liking the movie, but I don't really remember specifically what I liked about it so much.
Okay, that makes sense.
Ego is an interesting character to make as a villain, the whole planet and everything, and the fact that he's just, going around murdering all of his children because they don't live up to his expectations. Like,
You're a
wow.
disgrace. You're dead.
The man is literally trying to go around and fuck the whole universe. So, I mean, dude gets around. Dude pulls. But, if I looked like Kurt Russell in the 70s, I'd probably get some tail too. So,
Intergalactic tail, no less.
right.
Cale McLeish talking about Captain Marvel, who says, I find it funny that AJ brought up Rogue One since you picked a film starring Krennic. Maybe I did that on purpose, Cale.
Filled.
Now we're getting off color already. Nice. All right, so at number 10, I have a movie which honestly, quite a while ago, I would have ranked near the bottom, but with repeated viewings, I've kind of gotten into it a lot more, and that is Black Panther.
Wow. Okay.
I actually fell asleep in the theater opening night for this one. And when I went back to rewatch it, because that night, admittedly, I was tired, I was wide awake at the next one and fell asleep again. So it took me a while to get into this one. But once I got through it and started, really digging into it, I thought it was really cool. A part of this one for me, I think, might be visually. I really love, like, the neon purple kind of theme that goes through a lot of it. I really dig that, like in Wakanda and whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
The only thing that I would say about this one is that I disagree with people that say that I've seen these these things just blend together for me so much. Is it Warmonger? Is that the bad guy, or whoever the half whatever the half brother?
Which guy? You talking Andy Serkis character?
No.
Killmonger then.
Yeah, Killmonger. There we go. Sorry. Yeah. Everyone was like, "Oh, he was like one of the best Marvel villains." I didn't think so. I mean, I guess there's like that emotional connection because he's family, maybe. But I just always thought he was kind of just like an evil asshole. There was nothing that really made me feel compassion for him, or it's just nothing grabbed me. I'm like, the guy's just evil. Okay, he's a bad guy.
See, that's interesting. I can talk about this movie too if you're done with your part of it, and we're moving on to the next, because this is my next.
Okay.
So I'd like to rebut.
So your number 9.
Yeah.
Allow me to retort. Your number 9 is Black Panther. Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, one, I love the world building of Wakanda. I think that's the most well fleshed out, and maybe it's because it is a fictional country, so they didn't have to get into the. When something takes place in Brooklyn, you don't really have to go like, let's tell the audience about New York,
Yeah.
But I think Wakanda is like a really fascinating location, and it just looks beautiful. And I disagree with you about one of my complaints about the movie is that I think T'Challa is kind of bland compared to Killmonger. I think Killmonger's more interesting.
Okay.
He's got a cool look, and I like his rationale of like, hey, it's not just like evil for evil's sake. He's like, look, you pushed us around, so now we're going to do it back to you. And he raises some good points there, and how he, like, that opening scene where he's in the British Museum, and it talks about like you can't take that, you can't touch. He's like, how do you think you guys got it? I'm like,
Yeah.
it's a valid
Okay.
point. It's really cool. So
Okay.
I thought that was cool. It's got Saw Gerrera in it, so we like that.
Yeah.
We're
Anything
just gonna
anything
keep
with
pulling
Saw
the Rogue
Gerrera.
One threads. Yeah.
Exactly. Anything Saw Gerrera we're fans of. Yeah, I mean,
Right.
I don't disagree with you on that. I just think that the one thing you got to remember about T'Challa, though, for me, remember that like if I had to pick a favorite Marvel character, it would be Captain America, and T'Challa is pretty much like the closest in spirit to Captain America. You know, the Black Panther. So it's like that's not really a surprise that I would be into. You know, I'd be into that. So. Our good buddy
it's funny,
Joe.
'cause your complaint about Killmonger is that he's just bland villain guy, and I feel like T'Challa is, at least in this movie, is kind of like bland hero guy. He's just a created character in a Marvel game.
Okay, I mean, I can't disagree with that. Our buddy Joe says, "I bring the metal discussion to your council." Do we have any Iron Man movies left to discuss? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I just. Maybe it's one of those things like everybody just built it up so much, like, you know, Killmonger's this amazing villain and he's one of the best in the MCU, and I was waiting for it and just never got it. There wasn't that payoff.
My one complaint is that the end battle is nothing but CG, and it's not even the best looking CG in the movie. So to have the most, you know, climactic battle take place underground in a totally like dark setting on train tracks with two CG characters battling it out, I'm like, For that to be the big payoff of all the cool stuff leading up to it, that was really like not my thing.
Okay. All right. Well, why don't we move on to my number 9 then, because that wasn't your
Sure.
thing, but maybe this is your thing. My number 9 is Doctor Strange, which I feel is a very strange, no pun intended, entry in the MCU. In that, in my experience, people either love this one or they hate it. I've not met a lot of people that are just kind of like, nah, People are either like, I really liked it or I really didn't like it. To me, I just think it's a really interesting movie. Visually, it's great. I thought the story was pretty cool. Unfortunately, it does suffer again from kind of a weak villain. I didn't.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't really like. It's one of
Caecilius, depending on, you know. I mean, Galen Erso.
Yeah. Well, Kale just said that. Yeah. He says, and this one has Galen Erso. That's 3 in a row. Look, man, we can't help the fact that they're cross-casting these things, Kale. But, yeah, it's weird. Like, it again, suffers from one of the weaker villains. And I guess that takes some points away from it. But I just thought it was really interesting. And you know, maybe just like Black Panther, the visuals kind of bump it up my list a little bit, because, I mean, this movie looks phenomenal, and especially if you watch it in 3D. And
Oh God, yeah.
Going back to something I haven't mentioned in a long time on the show, thank God, but watching it in my VR helmet in 3D is just, you're like, I mean, when the cities are bending and they're going through all that stuff, you're like, what the hell's going on? Like, you know, if you don't do drugs, it's what I've been told an acid trip looks like. So, like.
Dude, you know I'm not a fan of 3D, but I saw that in the theater in 3D, and it was worth every penny.
That's one of those movies you have to. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's kind of like if you see Inception, like that's kind of a movie that you would be enhanced by 3D because of all those insane visuals and graphics and stuff like that. So, you know, Stephen Strange is a really cool character to me. It's a very common. He's an a-hole, falls down, redemption story type of an arc. I get that, but I just thought it was cool. I thought it was really cool, and I also liked how, you know, he retained some of that. I'm gonna make up my own word here, assholishness. He wasn't just like some jerk that then all of a sudden became good, and he's like two totally different people. Like, no, he's still kind of an a-hole. He just, you know, gained a sense of morality and, you know, a bigger purpose and stuff. So it was, I liked it for that reason. I liked it. So yeah, my number 9 is Doctor Strange. So coming in at number 8, what did you have?
Doctor Strange. Let's talk about that some more.
What is with our list? This happened the last time too.
We have similar taste. Who knew?
Wow. Okay.
Maybe we should do a show together. Yeah. So I ranked this one high because this is one of those ones that has the surprise factor for me. It's how Thor managed to eke into the top half of almost the top half of my movies because I didn't expect it to be any good. The character never really interested me, and I was just like, okay, I'll give it a try because Marvel's got a good track record. And I was blown away. I thought it was fantastic. Like you said, the visuals, the way they represent the magic and the folding of the mirror universe and stuff, love it. And like you said, like I thought the character was cool, and especially in hindsight, knowing like what a big deal he is in future stuff, I never would have suspected that. So, yeah, like I just think the guy's cool, and Benedict Cumberbatch just nails the part.
Yeah, he was phenomenal, like a phenomenal casting job, I think. I mean,
So what do you think about the solution to the final battle, though? The whole like trapping Dormammu in a time loop. So he gets what he wants, but he's stuck there too.
I mean, it was cool. I think at some point, I don't really question those sorts of things because it's like at some point when you have this ungodly extreme superpower, like what are you really going to do that's believable? And it's like killing Freddy Krueger or Jason in one of those movies. Like, okay, well, the guy's invincible and never dies, so what are you going to do? You know, like he's always going to come back, so what can you do? So I thought it was cool. I enjoyed it. I didn't have a problem with it. It was definitely not, the worst ending, and it gave us some more kick-ass visuals. So it was just, another perfect spot for them to give us some more CG. So that was pretty cool. So I didn't have a problem with it. I mean, did you like it? Did you not like it? Like,
I did. I thought it was inventive. It's not the I don't want to kill you, but I have to. It's not the we're going to lock you away forever kind of a thing in a prison. It's just like, no, just look, man, go the hell away.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
So my number 8 is Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2. So I like it. I like it a lot. Obviously, it's in my top 10. I thought it was fairly close to the first one, which was wildly entertaining and surprising. And I thought they did a good job with this one mostly for the reason that it gave me more of what I like. So you know me, if I like a movie, don't give me a sequel that's like a complete left turn. Like I already like
Star Wars.
Well, no, I mean no.
Empire was wildly different.
No,
Clones was wildly different, and Last Jedi was wildly different.
No, it's just a different part of a larger story. Like it was a Star Wars movie, same characters doing different stuff. Guardians of the Galaxy was, kind of the same thing. It was awesome. And, the first one was such a surprise. I mean, you remember when that trailer hit, our cousin was like, oh my God, this looks great. And I'm going, what the hell is that? I've never heard of any of these people. Like, what is going on? But it looks really funny. So, that's kind of cool. And so I was crazy surprised by it and really, really entertained. And so when the second one came along, I was like, all right, don't turn this on its ear. Just give me more of that. And they did. But, they raised the stakes. They had, one of the more dumb. I think it's a good villain because of the power and I guess the concept, but it's just kind of a dumb thing. Like, hey, I'm a whole planet. Like, okay. Like at some point it's like, okay, well, okay, so who's his dad? The universe? Like his mom is a galaxy? Like what the hell's going on? So that's kind of cheesy, but I liked it.
Well, you can watch the Eternals, it'll explain these Celestials to you.
Oh God. I still have to do that one time when I'm in a really bad mood and don't have any intention of improving it. I'm just going to sit down and watch the Eternals.
See, that's a good WTF Friday. We'll just sit down and do a live commentary on that. We'll just turn your camera on and not even any sound. Just watch your facial expressions.
Hey, you can do the sound. I'll be like, what the hell is that? That actually is a good WTF Friday. Let's do that. Let's do an Eternals watch along.
Okay.
I like that. That's a good idea. Because on Disney Plus, can't you do like oh no, it's Amazon where you do the watch party thing. So
I think
yeah,
Disney Plus has it too. In fact, I know they do. We did that for the Visions watch along.
all right, well let's do that. We have a good idea for a WTF Friday coming up. So there we go. We're all gonna bitch about the Eternals. So, but yeah, I mean, Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2, it's more of what I liked. I dug it, and it also, you know, the whole thing, you know, the father angle was great. You know, with Yandu, that was just really cool. That was again, it's kind of it was completely unexpected, and it turned it on its ear and added an emotional aspect to it, which was really cool. So I dug it.
One thing Marvel does fantastically is casting, right? Like,
Yeah.
Michael Rooker as Yondu is just perfect.
Yeah.
Love that. I mean, that character is amazing, and I can't think of anyone who would probably do it justice like that. Maybe it's just because I've only seen him in that role, so I don't know what anyone else's take would be on it. But his is like so pitch perfect. I'm like, I don't even need to see anybody else.
Yeah, I totally agree. Okay, so that is my number 8. What do you have at number 7?
At number 7, we have Avengers Endgame. We're getting into the heavy hitters now. So,
Avengers Endgame. Okay.
Yeah. Obviously, I have not listed the third Avengers movie yet, so obviously I like that one better. This one, it's hard to stick a landing, and they did a great job with it, but it's hard to have too many plot twists in a finale, right? So as the stakes are getting more and more dire, I'm like, well, I know they're going to win. Now I'm just watching it happen. So it's up against it that way. The stuff that I really like about it, though, is I like the victory lap around the entire MCU up to that point with like time jumping and stuff like that. I thought that was a really cool trick and a way to. And I love the fact that, you know, obviously they jumped back into the events of the original Avengers and caused a spin-off that became a Disney Plus series and, you know, has fed forward into newer projects. So I thought that was really cool.
Right.
But yeah, I thought that was great. And yeah, there's nothing really wrong with it. It's just that we're getting to the point where someone's got to come in last. So.
Okay. For my number 7, I actually I've got the one that started it all. I've got the Avengers. So the team up movie, the one that I think everybody worried about. Like, okay, can they pull this off? And I thought they did it incredibly, and it set the bar so high. And it was that was one of the most fun theater experiences I've ever had because we had a big group of people for that one. Because by that point we had loved the movies leading up to it. I mean, Hulk was like kind of, you know, whatever. It was number 23 on both our lists. But you know, we had enjoyed all the movies so much. Everyone's like, oh, I got to see them all together. But there was that trepidation. You're like, okay, can they pull this off? How are they going to have all these personalities in the same movie and give them equal enough screen time to where somebody that you're really invested in, like Thor or Iron Man or somebody that, you know, Captain America, isn't getting stepped on, to where if you're a fan of that character, you're not getting your money's worth. And I thought they did a phenomenal job of that. I thought they really did a kick-ass job of blending it to where you get, you know, an equal amount of everybody. It was, they pulled it off so well. And the movie, like, I gotta hate this term, but it's really what comes to mind when I think about it. It has so much heart to it. You know, like the blending of the characters worked so very well, because it easily could have been like one guy stomping over the other one and vice versa. But the personalities, you know, as they came together in the comics, really played well on screen as well. So I thought it was great. So yeah, my number 7 is the Avengers. So at number 6, what do you have?
You'll like this one, Captain America: The Winter Soldier.
All right. In your top 6.
It's so rewatchable, man. Maybe it's just because, you know, we're honks for Cleveland or something, but you know, I mean, it's just a fun movie to watch. It's got enough other stuff going on in it too. It's not just a Captain America. Obviously, it's kind of like broadening out and telling a few more stories in there too. You know, with Black Widow basically being along for the entire movie. So this is where that whole like Avengers 0.5 kind of formula for Captain America movies started.
Yeah.
And yeah, I mean, I think the characters are nailed perfectly. I love the reveal of Hydra within Shield. The end battle, the stuff, the payoff with Bucky is really cool.
Yes.
And kind of sidelining Nick Fury a little bit was a surprising touch.
Yeah.
So yeah, this was a pretty pivotal movie in the whole saga, and I never get sick of watching it.
Yeah. Same here. And it's
Awesome
it's always
fight scenes too. Sorry, forgot about that.
Yeah. No, that's okay. Sorry to cut you off. Yeah, no, I completely agree that the fight scenes are great, and it's funny you mentioned the Cleveland thing, because anytime I've got friends in town, that are from out of town, I should say, and we go down, downtown Cleveland, and they're big Marvel fans. They always want to know, like, oh, did they film this here? Did they film that there? So if you take them down by Brown Stadium, and it's like there's the Shoreway, and there's the Justice Building and stuff like that. I'm like, okay, so this is filmed there, and it's really cool to point it out to them, because in their head they can kind of visualize that location. Go, holy shit, that is it! Like, it's really cool to show them that, and it was really funny. Like, do you remember being in the theater? We were watching it, and it says like Washington D.C., and we're like, bullshit, that's Euclid Avenue, right? Everywhere they were, we're
taking
like
the escalator down in that mall, and
Yeah,
I'm
we're
like,
like-
dude, I go up that every day when I'm going to my office above Terminal Tower. Like,
yeah, that's Tower City. Where's the damn fountains? Like,
and why don't we have an Apple store?
yeah.
That was the fakest part.
An Apple store in Tower City would not survive. We'll just leave it at that.
No.
So yeah, so my number 6, I have Avengers Infinity War. So
Okay.
I've got, what else can you say? Okay, how are they going to finish this? My initial reaction to finding out it was 2 parts was, thank God. I was really worried they were just going to try and end everything with one movie. I'm like, there's way too much. There is way too much to get into for this to be like one movie. And Star Wars could have learned a big lesson from this, man. The Rise of Skywalker was jammed full of stuff, and you're like, man, this really needs more exposition and more room to breathe. And give Kevin Feige a lot of credit. He was like, yeah, we got 21 movies to this point, or 20 at that point. What, like, can't just go, here's 2 hours and 15 minutes. Okay, it's done. Like, no, can't do that. Can't do that. So, it was, man, it was really cool. And it was, the only part that was kind of sketchy to me was, I don't even know if it was sketchy, but the whole quote unquote cliffhanger about the snap and like half of the Avengers die.
Oh,
You're like, well, they gotta come back. So that's the only thing, like, it kind of took away from it. You weren't like, wait, what? It would have been,
especially because it was very conspicuous how the new characters were the ones that got dusted, and the
Yeah.
originals that you knew
Right.
were phasing out anyway are the ones left. You're like, oh, okay,
it was
All
like
right,
a
now we
it was
get
like it was like a corporate layoff, and they only kept the ones with seniority.
right, exactly.
All right, if you've been here longer than 10 years, you keep your job. Otherwise, you're fired. So
no, Spider-Man, you don't have tenure.
exactly. Look, our buddy Joseph Wren regarding the Cleveland stuff. Where are we going to film this scene? It needs to be Washington. Washington's not pretty enough. Cleveland? Done. You're right, Joe. It's a beautiful city. Yeah. And he talking about Infinity War, he said Infinity War scared you into thinking characters were actually dead in a comic book movie. I see. I'm going to disagree with you, Joe, for the point that I just made. Like, knowing that there was a second movie coming up, I think kind of took a little bit of the angst out of it, I would say. Because you knew there was a whole nother movie coming, and you're like, well, they can't just leave these people out of it. Like, I mean, one of the things that I always thought would have been really cool is if they made it out like it was only one movie, and then everybody gets to the theater, and then this happens, and you're like, that's how they end it. And then at the end, like, oh wait, there's one more movie coming. Like,
Yeah.
oh, cool, woohoo! Like, I thought
Yeah,
that
like
would have been
the
cool.
last post-credit scene is the Avengers will return in Avengers Endgame or something.
Exactly.
Yeah.
The Avengers aren't really dead because there's another movie. Like, I thought that'd be kind of cool, but
Mhm.
So all right, so that is my number 6, Avengers: Infinity War. So all right, let's get into the top 5. So we've each of us have 5 movies left, and I think we have 3 common ones. I think. But let's get into it. What do you have at number 5?
The original, the one that started it all, Iron
Wow.
Man.
Okay.
You gotta give credit to the original, man. It's the first time they tried it. It was a B-level character because they sold off the rights to all their top tier properties. So to have the movie be so damn good, and let's face it, the villain is kind of weak. Obadiah Stane, Ironmonger. He's like, it's okay. I mean, Jeff Daniels kills it, but I always get these confused. Sorry, Jeff Daniels or Jeff Bridges?
Jeff Bridges.
Sorry, Jeff Bridges. Then, yeah. Sorry, this isn't Harry from Dumb and Dumber. You're right.
I was gonna say the villain is Lloyd Christmas. Oh my god.
Anyway, yeah, like it was a fantastic movie that had no right to be as good as it was, and there was no real template for it. It was the closest thing we had prior to this would have been, I think, the last one would have been Fantastic Four in 2005. So it's not like they had a good pedigree to build off of, and they nailed it, man. So credit to the original. They kind of set the template. Like, it set the tone right away. The fact that we're talking about 23 movies here, and the first one fits in just as well as the 23rd.
Yeah.
Nailed it right out of the gate.
Well, and it's a great movie, and it was kind of like a movie like when it came out. It was a novelty, I think.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't. It's not like they announced, okay, there's going to be almost 25 of these things in succession over the next, decade plus. So you're going to get tons more of this. It was like, holy crap, like, okay, here's a superhero movie, and it's totally good, but it's not even about a superhero that was like one of the upper echelon guys. You know what I mean? It was like people had heard of Iron Man, but you're like, okay, who is this guy? And, to a point you made earlier, the casting was just absolutely kick-ass. I mean, Robert Downey Jr. It's almost like you couldn't cast that better, kind of like, Ryan Reynolds in the Deadpool movies.
Mm-hmm. You talk about rehabbing a career too.
Yeah. Well, who knew?
Like the character. Sorry to cut you off there, but I feel like the character kind of like played into the actor's real life struggles. Like the actor in real life was known to be kind of a dick.
Yeah. Yeah.
Tony Stark. There you go, ladies and gentlemen.
Did he ever pee in his pants in public though? Like in Iron Man 2?
Maybe in a suit. I'm not sure.
Oh well. I guess we'll figure it out.
I mean, I would, wouldn't you?
You did pee in your pants first time you got drunk. That's the story I was told. So, but we're not talking about your teenage years. Yep, there it is.
Well, I almost died face down in a toilet because you were too busy filming it, thinking it was funny, rather than
It was
checking to
funny.
see if I had drowned.
So apparently my Facebook is being a dickhead again, and it's not showing me who is commenting. Oh, that's our buddy DQ. So DQ, who's just showing up as Facebook user. Thank you for that, Facebook. Ryan is Deadpool. Yeah. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Ryan Reynolds is Deadpool, and Tony and Robert Downey Jr. is Tony Stark, man. My number 5 is Avengers Endgame. So
okay. Why
I've
did you like this one better than I did?
Because for the same reasons that I liked, and it's weird because I kind of have this backwards in certain aspects of my list, but going back to my point of just give me more of that, like I got more of that. It was the Avengers. It was Avengers Infinity War, just bigger and better, but it also had Fat Thor. I got Korg.
Okay.
So of course,
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
if it was the exact same movie, but they inserted like a 10-second scene with Korg, it would instantly go above Infinity War. I've said it once, I'll say it again. There needs to be a Korg standalone. Him just walking around being funny. I don't care what he
I'm
does.
amazed you haven't seen Thor: Love and Thunder yet with all the Korg that's in it. You asked me, is there a lot of Korg? I was like, the most ever.
Did you know that that's coming out on Disney Plus next week?
It's crazy, right? It's like a 45-day release window or something now.
Dude, so I was joking with Steph. For those of you who don't know who that is, my wife. But you know what's all is coming out on the same day on Disney Plus next week on September 8th. So it's Thor: Love and Thunder, the live-action Pinocchio with Tom Hanks as Geppetto. It's got a huge name cast to it. And so I kind of want to see that just because I'm not like a huge fan of Pinocchio or anything, but, you know, it's Tom Hanks. You got to see a Tom Hanks movie. And then the making of Kenobi show all in the same day. So I'm like,
Wow,
damn it,
man.
I need to take off work. Like I got a lot of
say.
stuff to watch, but yeah, I mean Endgame, it's more of the same from Infinity War, but it's got Fat Thor and Korg, and it's got the emotional aspect. You know, Joseph Wren said, you know, Infinity War scared you into thinking characters were actually dead in a comic book movie, but then they actually did kill them off. You know what I mean? It's like, so, I mean, they killed off Gamora in the first one, but you're like, okay, there's another movie. Like, are you going to see her again? Whatever. But then when you know that this is actually over in Endgame and you lose Black Widow, and then especially at the end, you know, you lose Iron Man, it's like, wow. So it was a super heavy movie. It had high emotional stakes to it. It was good. It was really, really good. And I think if you're going to tie up, you know, at that point it was a 20-second movie, I don't think you can ask for a better ending to it. It was nobody left the theater going, oh, I wanted more from that, you know, after all these movies. Like, no one said that. No one said that. You know, Infinity War became like the biggest movie ever, and then Endgame comes along like a year later, and takes its place as the biggest movie ever. So, you know,
Infinity War is kind of hard on a rewatch too, because you just watch the heroes make shitty decisions one time after another. They had so many easy opportunities to win.
Yeah.
Like, I can't. Like, you dick. So yeah, for Endgame to actually come off properly, like there wasn't really an oh shit moment of basically the heroes were saved from having to make a decision that would save the universe, because it was just, here's an army of bad guys. Who have we got?
Yeah.
Okay.
Exactly. So, yep. So my number 5 is Avengers Endgame. So number 4, what do you have at number 4?
At number 4, this is where I put Infinity War.
Okay.
For the like you were talking about with the original Avengers, man, to balance all these characters, you know, they did the same trick again as the first one. I don't feel like Age of Ultron really did that so much, but the first Avengers and the third Avengers really, like, you throw all these characters together that have never been seen on screen together before, and you're like, one, how are they going to get enough screen time, and two, how are they going to get along? And with all the different tones of movies these guys come from, like, how are they going to make one movie that's going to like feel consistent and no one's going to be acting, you know, out of character to make it fit? So I think they nailed it, and the cliffhanger was cool. Like I said, a little bit predictable knowing that the finale was coming up, but
Okay.
I mean, to pick up right with like, hey, Loki's dead.
Yeah.
Okay, you got my attention.
Right.
Wow. So yeah, I just love that movie from start to finish. But again, it's maddening on a rewatch, because you're so many times you're like, dude, you got to let this one person die, no matter how much you care about them, because literally the entire universe is hanging in the balance right now.
Yeah.
Like, either half the universe is gone or Black Widow's gone. Sorry, Hawkeye, let her die.
Another damn it, I got this stupid thing. So Facebook user
Oh yeah.
says Thanos kicking Hulk. God, I can't talk. Thanos kicking Hulk's ass. Yeah, that was kind of badass. You know, the one time you see Hulk really vulnerable, That was cool. So that's
It was weird that they went and sidelined. I wonder why they decided to sideline him for the whole movie and do this whole like crisis of confidence thing where he just won't come out anymore. Because I think, didn't they show, I mean, obviously Marvel trailers can't be trusted because they're always changing shit. But I swear there was like some Hulk stuff from later in the movie that never showed up because Banner never turned into Hulk again.
Yeah, well, I mean,
am I just remembering that wrong? I swear Hulk was in that final battle in Wakanda.
Wow, how are we forgetting that? Why are we talking about this shit? We obviously know nothing. We don't know our ass from a hole in the ground. Why do we have a show? What are we doing? Oh my God!
Well, we didn't want to bias ourselves by doing a rewatch or anything. So, well, actually,
True.
A rewatch wouldn't help because we're talking about a trailer. So unless we're going to watch all the trailers for all 23 movies and all 23 movies, someone's got to pay us for that shit.
Yeah. Well, Facebook user again to the rescue. Even Toys came out. He busted out of Hulkbuster. Yep.
Oh yeah, I think that's what I saw. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. All right, so yeah, that's what happened.
That's what happened.
A little Anchorman 2 for you there. All right, so my number 4 is the original Guardians of the Galaxy.
Ooh, good pick.
So
all right, let's say some nice things about GOTG.
Yeah, well, for me, dude, it was such a surprise. It was one of those ones you figure you're not going to give a damn about, and it ends up being one of your favorites. I mean, I don't think there's a lot of Marvel fans that would rank this one low on their list. It's a great freaking movie, and it's really funny. I mean, the humor is something we had not had in a Marvel movie. You're like, okay, how is humor going to play? And it was awesome. I mean, for God's sakes, one of the main characters is a tree. I mean, how often do we make fun of a force tree on this show for years in The Last Jedi, like leading up to it and even after potentially, and yet everyone gives a shit about a tree. Everyone loves a tree. So that was really cool.
And he only says one thing. He's got no friggin' dialogue, and we're still like, I love that character.
Yeah. I mean, it's great. It's great.
Oh, Kale.
Kale always tries to get banned from the chat on my shows. He says, Groot is geode. Groot is not geode, okay? God damn it.
The man's got a point.
No, he doesn't. Geode is a rock.
So stupid. It's a character so stupid, you're like, what the hell? Like, are you even taking this seriously anymore, guys? And the answer is, only somewhat.
Geode is a rock, dude. At least a tree can move. It's got branches and leaves and stuff. A rock is a fucking rock, okay? And a rock cannot pick up chicks. How did that make it into Star Wars? Okay, seriously. You know what? I'm gonna get a tattoo. I'm gonna get the nicest, most 3D version of Geode I can with a big red circle and a line through it, right where everybody can freaking see it, like on my hand, like right here, on the back of my hand.
Man, I can't wait until he shows up in live action.
Oh, God, dude.
He might already have been in live action. We don't know.
His whole family. His whole family.
It's like the Captain Rex in Return of the Jedi. You just retcon it into everything. Every rock you see, that's Geode.
His parents
the entire island of Achto.
I was just saying. I was just gonna say, his mom and dad are Achto. His dad is Ach. His mom is Toe.
Yep. Okay. Yep.
Oh my God. Damn it, Kale. Look, Kale says, a rock moves when I skip it across the lake. Oh my Lord. All right, so Facebook user says, I really got to figure that out. It is pissing me off. I do not like not giving people credit when they comment. I hate it. So if this is your comment, I am really sorry, guys. I don't know what the hell my StreamYard is doing. But Facebook user says, the soundtrack, Trees Save the Day. So yeah, the soundtrack is amazing. Both soundtracks for both, volume 1 and 2. Can't go wrong with those. And it was the perfect marketing, wasn't it? You could, like, when they marketed like actual cassettes of the soundtracks and that looked like the cassette he was putting into the player. Come and get your love. That was awesome. So, yeah, Guardians was just a complete surprise. I loved it from start to finish, and it was just, it was cool. It was cool all the way around. So, yeah, my number 4 is Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 1. So we are into our top 3. So what is your third best ranked Infinity Saga film?
All right, we are on the podium now, so we're doing the best of the best here. I went with the original Avengers in this spot, mainly for the same reason I went with Iron Man up so high too. Is, again, first time it was ever tried, and they nailed it. They just nailed it. And even this early on with the team up thing, like, it still holds up. It's still a great movie.
Mm-hmm.
And it's cool now knowing all the stuff that comes later to see how consistent it really was and how well it set it all up.
Yep.
So, yeah, I mean, dude, as soon as Thor shows up and Iron Man's like, "Does Mom know you weareth her drapes?" I'm like, okay, these characters can work. All right.
Right.
Like, it was fantastic. I loved it. So, yeah, just the sheer surprise of it. I feel like we rate a lot of these movies higher when they're a pleasant surprise.
Yeah.
And this one was one of the most pleasant surprises. I don't know how many times we saw it in the theater, but it was definitely more than once.
Oh, yeah.
This
We
is
saw it many times.
Very rewatchable movie. Yeah.
Yeah, this was kind of like for us, like, we always go see, any Star Wars film several times in the theater, and we did that with this one for sure. So
plus, not knowing, like, what was to come. Like, we knew that this was a culmination of all the movies that came before, but we didn't realize that this was, just starting the whole thing. So, when Tony goes up into outer space with that missile, I'm like,
yeah,
oh, shit, they're killing Iron Man. Like, it's a finale movie, so someone's got to die. Someone's got to make the sacrifice. So, and that was a beautiful story arc for him too, because Captain America told him, like, you're not the one to make the sacrifice play. And who ends up making the sacrifice play?
Yep.
So just nailed it. And every character got something to do. And I think they all came out of it, like, stronger than they went into it. So no one was, like, chumped out so someone else could look stronger.
Yeah, no, I definitely
perfect
agree.
all the way around. Yeah.
Well, and dude, let's face it. Hulk throwing Loki around like a dish rag in the in the Avengers Tower, that was awesome. In Stark Tower, that was so good. All right, so my number 3 is the one that started all of this. So I have the first Iron Man at number 3.
Okay. I think you've always liked this one a little bit better than me. So,
yeah,
talk it up.
If you're going to ask me which movie I'm going to watch instead of Iron Man, if I had to pick, I've got 2 more above it, obviously, that I'd watch. But any of the ones below it, there's probably a lot I would think of to watch instead of Iron Man. But again, Iron Man is the blueprint. We just talked about Guardians being such a complete surprise. Iron Man was a complete surprise. It was incredibly, because going into this, I was thinking, okay, it's just going to be a superhero kicking ass. Like, okay, cool. And it wasn't. It was all this backstory of, he gets, he's a weapons dude. He's stuck in the desert. He builds the first suit out of all this bull crap, like whatever. And it was really cool the way they did it. It was not what I was expecting at all. And I absolutely loved the presentation of it. I was like, this movie is amazing. And every time I go back to it, I just remember, the first time I saw it, when I was like, man, this is so much better than I would have even hoped. Because, like, we had seen some comic book movies previously, and some were okay. Some were, we talked about, Hulk versus Hulk a couple episodes ago, and they were good, and it was interesting. But this one was, like, fantastic. And it wasn't because it was just a comic book come to life. There was a human aspect to it. It really kind of pulled the real world into the comic book world, but didn't overtake it. It still had that campiness to it. Love that. And it's, that's the whole reason I can't get behind the DC movies, because yeah, we get it. DC comics are a little darker, but they're so ungodly dark in tone, in color, in mood, like everything. I'm just like, stop it. Like, enough is enough. Like, that's not the whole point, It's, they're trying so hard to get away from Marvel that they miss the point of it's still got to be fun and it's still got to be a comic book, So,
Yeah.
Iron Man was great. I loved it. I mean, you've already given your thoughts. So,
I
for
could
me,
keep going though, because I mean, dude, just the building sequence, like when he's designing that first suit.
yeah,
It's like 20 minutes of the movie of him just like trial and error and designing stuff, and that should be so boring, and it was like must see film. Like, it was so cool to see him like fixing the problems, and then like, let's try a paint color on here, and it ices at high altitude. Like,
yeah,
the mundane little things of R&D when like, move 10 years on, and he's like, I got nanotech in my jogging suit.
right.
So it was cool that like everything was a piece of metal, and you kind of believed that it was like, I wasn't even sure until I saw behind the scenes, like, was it a practical suit? Was it CG?
Yeah.
The answer is a lot more. There was actually at that time, of course, a lot more practical than we thought. But the CG was amazing. It was seamless. So
Yeah, definitely. All right. We're into our top 2. What do you have at number 2?
I'm putting Guardians of the Galaxy up here.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
I love this movie. It's another one where I could just pop it in any time and have fun with it. I mean, it's just edgy enough. I love the framework of using like the soundtrack so prominently to like set the mood.
Yeah.
Because the one criticism of Marvel movies in general is that, with the exception of the Avengers theme, how many of these have like really memorable soundtracks or scores? You're like, oh, that's Iron Man's theme, or that's what I hear when Thor shows up, or it's all just generic dynamic music. So to use like all these songs that they were not really that popular when they ended up on the soundtrack either. They'd kind of like faded into the past a little bit, but they're freaking great now.
Yeah.
They're bangers. So yeah, I love it, and I thought that the to make a CG raccoon and a talking tree as entertaining as they were was just unbelievable.
Yep.
So yeah.
Well, I recently gave my thoughts on Guardians of the Galaxy, so rather than pontificating on that one a little bit more, I'm going to pontificate about my choice for number 2, which is Captain America, the Winter Soldier.
You put this all the way up there. All right.
I did. There's only one other movie I'd rather watch. It is
Two
just
girls, one cup. I get it, but that's not Marvel.
Okay, gross. Wasn't expecting that. Okay. Yeah, I just, man, this movie is pretty much like perfect to me. It's got the spy elements. It's got the action elements. There's kind of that, okay, is, Captain America going to hook up with Black Widow type of flirty thing going on that she's doing with him. As you said, like, you the Falcon comes in, so you get, Falcon and the Winter Soldier and all this kind of stuff, all these different, characters that are introduced. Look at this. Wait a minute. Facebook user, it's DQ. He says that one is shitty. Which one is shitty? You better not be talking about frickin' the Winter Soldier, dude, because I'm going to see you here in a couple weeks in the dog pound at the Browns game, and you and I are going to have it out if you're saying the Captain America, the Winter Soldier is shitty. You better be referencing something else. But
we've never banned anyone from chat, but I think that deserves it.
It's getting kind of close, yeah.
he might as well predict a better record for the Steelers this year.
Oh, he's talking about Two Girls, One Cup. We are not talking about that on the show. We don't censor ourselves. We're censoring ourselves where that's concerned. That's gross. Yeah, I mean, you already hit on it. I mean, the whole thing where, the best friend thing with Bucky, like, he's, I'm with you till the end. And then Bucky basically damn near kills him and he falls down the river, but then Bucky ends up saving him. Like, I mean, it's got the friendship aspect to it. And, which just the whole movie, I'm really glad that they didn't wait for the reveal of Bucky being the Winter Soldier. I'm glad they didn't wait to the end. Go, oh my God! All this time we thought he was just the bad guy. Like, I thought it added so much to the story that Captain America, Steve Rogers walking around the whole time going, okay, well, so my best friend is now like super bad guy. What the hell am I gonna do? Like, there was this constant tension going on. It was just incredible. And
yeah,
God, every time I watch that
it
movie,
ups
I'm
the
just
stakes beyond the usual. Like the usual stakes are, I'm the hero, I don't kill people, so I'll go easy on you. But instead, it's like, no, you're punching your best friend in the face.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, dude, it's just every time I watch it, it's one of those that gets better and better to me. I'm like, this is so cool. The Hydra reveal was awesome. It's just, it had twists in it and just a fucking great movie. So, all right, so that's my number 2, which means we are each left with only one film. So, drum roll without us having a drum roll. What is your top-rated Infinity Saga Marvel film?
Okay, well, you should already be able to tell because I've already said every other movie in the list. But in case you weren't paying attention, and let's see how well you know me, what do you think I put in the top spot?
Thor Ragnarok.
Of course, yes. Give him a prize, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, man. This is the one that I can watch all day, every day, and love it. You talk about, again, soundtrack, that Led Zeppelin, No Quarter. I mean, no, not No Quarter.
Yep.
What the hell am I talking about?
Immigrant Song.
The hell is that name? Yeah. No, definitely not No Quarter. That's a very different song. Yeah, Immigrant Song. Awesome. The introduction of Korg. Come on, man.
Right. I'm sorry. I'm picturing that opening scene. Close the door, put out the light. No, they won't be home tonight. Like, who picked this song? This isn't uplifting at all.
See, this is what I get for naming proper nouns. But dude, it's the introduction of Korg. I thought that would put it over the top for you right there.
I have it. I have it at number
it's got
16.
the line.
Well, yeah. Piss off, Ghost.
Right?
It is my favorite line in all of Marvel. So, you're right on that one.
No need to fear unless you're a pair of scissors. That's the little rock paper scissors joke.
I'm telling you, Korg is the best. I'm wondering where I'll put Love and Thunder once I see it, since it's got a lot of Korg. But anyway, yeah. So explain further, since it is your favorite. The floor is yours. So
again,
go into
surprise. Surprise goes into it big time. I mean, one, Thor gets his ass kicked pretty handily in a lot of parts of this movie, which is surprising. And the pivot for the character. I mean, he goes from being like the straight man in every joke to like, he's funny. Chris Hemsworth is a funny guy, and they finally let him be funny. And it didn't undermine the character where it was like, well, that's out of left field, or he didn't become like a punchline because he was funny. He just had he had personality and all this like ability and talent.
Yeah.
And power. So like, yeah, like I can't imagine the original version of Thor that came from the first two movies like really being anywhere near as popular as the characters become without this movie.
No, I completely agree with that.
Yeah, and then you get Hulk on Sakaar, which is amazing. That was fantastic to see. And just weird one-off stuff like Jeff Goldblum as the Grand Master. That's hilarious.
Yeah.
Like the fact that the wormhole's called the Devil's Anus.
Uh-huh.
And it's his party ship where he has orgies. Like, oh my God, man, Marvel's getting raunchy. Okay.
They figured
I'm here for it.
They're doing some Deadpool, so why not do this, right?
Right? So yeah, man. I never get sick of this movie. It's just incredible. Yeah.
So I forget, did you see that movie with us in Chicago?
Ragnarok?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, that's right. You didn't. So
You're
while
a
you're
dick.
busy,
You don't invite me on those trips.
while you're busy poking at me about not seeing Rogue One in IMAX, you didn't see Ragnarok on opening weekend in Chicago on an IMAX, one of the largest movie screens in the world, in 3D. 6 stories tall, baby. 60 by 80. Boom. So suck on that with your Rogue One joke earlier, you bastard. Ha!
How spacious were the seats in that theater, by the way?
You're not going to dump me out. I sense a dump out coming up. You bet. I'm not. You're not getting me.
I'm just wondering, did they make you buy 2 tickets?
Don't go to the fat joke because you're pissed off because I saw something you didn't. No. Dude, it's crazy. Like, I've got Ragnarok at 16. So it was like, kind of at the top half of my bottom half, I suppose, like the top third. But, yeah,
Talk about nailing that Marvel formula. I feel like this is like the perfect example where it's fun and also has stakes involved, which is what DC always misses.
Okay. I would agree, but I think the movie that nails it more than any other would be my number one choice, which I remember you had low. So, dude, I've said it before on the show, so anybody who's watched us multiple times knows Captain America, the First Avenger, has always been and will forever be my favorite Marvel movie. I just love that movie. And you had that like down around like 20 or something, like, or the low teens, like it was bad. Where did you have that one?
That one is number 12.
You didn't know. You didn't have
the top of the bottom half.
You didn't have the original one up here. You had it in your other list.
Yeah. We started at 11, dude.
No, not your. You don't have the First Avenger in your list tonight. It was on the previous show.
Right. It's at the top of my bottom list.
Oh, okay. Sorry, I forgot we started with 11. Yeah, now I can't count. Yeah. Do we even bring DQ's comments?
Gloves on the other foot now, isn't it, Kramer?
See, on my Dream Theater show, we do album deep dives. I'm really starting to think we should do movie deep dives on the Nerf Herder Council, and I would love to do Airplane. Okay, so
I've got another one that we can add to that list because I didn't realize that Val Kilmer was in a movie that was written by the guys who did Airplane.
Okay,
I just saw it on Twitter today.
Top Secret.
Yeah.
Okay. So my friend DQ says that the reason that I like Captain America so much is Peggy Carter's figure. Let's leave it at that.
Yes.
That's not true at all, DQ, damn you. Quit trying to get me in trouble on the internet.
Well, it's not the only reason, but it's one of them.
Well, no, I don't give a shit. I mean, she's cool as hell. I love that character in that movie, which is really weird because like when she was on like television shows and stuff, like I wasn't really into it, but I loved her in the movie, First Avenger. I just
Did you ever watch Agent Carter?
I tried and it just didn't grab me.
I haven't even watched it.
DQ, aka Facebook user, he says it helps. That's funny. No, I'm a World War II buff, and Captain America is my favorite comic book character. So when you make, Captain America's movie a period piece set in World War II, I loved it. And again, as vanilla as it is, he's the goodest of the good guys. Like, something about it I just loved. I just love how, he's the one unbreakable character. You're always going to have that super good guy. And I'm usually not into that type of character, but I love it. And, I thought Red Skull was, in full disclosure, we've been talking about whether or not, good villains, bad villains. I mean, Red Skull's a kick-ass villain, because he's, Captain America's equivalent. He's got the super soldier serum and stuff too. But I mean, they've done better, I think, but not much better. So I just, the whole Nazis versus, America thing. And then, they play up the friendship with Steve Rogers and Bucky Barnes so much. And then to lose Bucky, like, I never expected that to happen. Like, I knew going in that Bucky Barnes was the Winter Soldier, but I didn't think they would do it in this movie. Like, I didn't think, like, they build up this friendship and then barely halfway through they kill him off. It's like, holy crap, really? Okay.
Yeah, I thought that was a little early, actually.
Yeah, I did too. I
didn't care enough about Bucky, but by the time he disappeared.
Okay.
And it wasn't really a motivating factor for Steve for the rest of the movie. Because he was already, Mr. Good Guy and kicking ass on everybody anyway.
Yeah.
So I feel like if they had kept Bucky around until the end and then made the sacrifice, I think that would have had more impact.
Yeah. That's tough. Because, I mean, it had impact for me just because it was like it was already well established. And okay, so full disclosure, and you can relate to this, AJ, because, like, we're talking about, like, real life here. I think that the best friend aspect of things kind of hit me a little bit more between Bucky and Steve, because my best friend, we met when we were 5 years old in kindergarten. It's been 41 years now, and he's a much bigger dude than I am. So, like, the couple times that I got in trouble in school, like, he was the one protecting me, like Bucky was protecting Steve Rogers. And it's, I used to always think, like, God, I wish I could protect him sometime, but so that kind of hit me, like, on a personal level. So maybe that's what it is. But I just, every time I watch that movie, I love it, man. Like, and again, another personal experience. Like, I actually watched that with Pat. For those of you who don't know, I played in bands and all this other crap. You've heard about that. But Pat was my guitar player for many, many years, and he's one of the sweetest guys, but huge comic book fan. And we hadn't been in a band for a while when this movie came out, and we were talking. He was like, dude, let's go see Captain America together. I'm like, hell yeah, dude. So I'm sitting there with one of my closest friends I hadn't talked to in quite a while, and watching this movie that's blowing me away while, I got a friend, we're kind of reconnecting. And it was just one of those confluence of circumstances types of situations, I think. But the movie itself just rules. I love it. Every time I watch it, I'm like, oh, this is so good. It's like the epitome of a comic book movie come to life to me. Like, it is a comic book, but it's just rooted in reality enough to where it's not campy. It doesn't cross that line to, okay, it's just a comic book come to life. It's not like a cartoon. I just think it's great. So, yeah, I mean, I guess if you've listened to the show for quite a while, AJ, I guess our number ones are no surprise. You picking Ragnarok and me picking, Captain America. But
we don't hide our interests well.
Yeah. Dude, we should hide this shit so we could do a show in the future. Nah. Let's just tell everybody everything.
I do have a question for you about the casting in Captain America. I want to get your take on this.
Okay.
If Peggy Carter was in Two Girls, One Cup, would you watch it?
For the love of God. Seriously? Why? That's disgusting. I never even saw that to begin with.
The two girls were Agent Carter and Black Widow.
Dude, why? No. Even when that was like all the rage to like see what is this thing? Oh, that's so gross. I still haven't. I'm like, nope, I'm not doing it. So I'm not getting into that. You should never have brought it up. That is horrible. That is terrible. That is absolutely terrible.
Can we get I Want to Be the Cup trending on Twitter?
Oh, God. No, we can't. No, we can't. If we can't even get freaking our Facebook comments to come up under the person's name instead of Facebook user, we damn sure can't get a hashtag trending. Look, see, okay. God damn it. Joseph Wren says, what if the two girls were hunting space whales? Joe, seriously. First of all, you won't let me re-record the second half of my Van Halen episode I did on your awesome show discography discussion because I was too drunk to remember we did the second half of the show. Now you're doing space whale jokes. Oh, my God. Yeah, see, there it is. Kale's another one's going to buy a shirt. He says, hashtag AJ is very wrong. Okay, that one we might be able to get going, Kale. That one we might be able to get going.
Hey. I'll put that on a T-shirt, too. That's 2 sales right there.
I love it. Dude, Kale, if you bought that shirt, I would find a way to Venmo or Zelle you the money and be like, dude, that's phenomenal. You too, Mimar. I got to admit, I'd be like, all right, Mimar, shoot me an email address. I'm gonna reimburse you for that because that's awesome. Yeah, dude, this was fun. It was cool. I know that we have like similar tastes, but I really was surprised at how close we had stuff.
Have you been keeping track, by the way, or do we have to put this on Twitter? Because we were going to add these up and figure out where they averaged out between us.
I have my list. I have not been keeping track, but
so Twitter it is. Stay
There
tuned.
we go. At NHC Podcast, y'all. We'll see what the. It's probably not going to look very different. I mean, it's weird though. Like our number ones are at vastly different. Honestly, the biggest disparity we have on both of our lists are our number ones. My number 1 is your number 12, and your number 1 is my number 16. The rest there were several that we kind of piggybacked.
I don't know. Captain America is a pretty wide gulf. I had that one at 21, and you had that up at like number 10 or something.
Yeah. Look at Mimar. She says, "Bah, can do tennis shoe." That's fantastic. Nice. So apparently
more people
Mimar
should tune in. We give away free shit, apparently.
Exactly. If you agree with me, I pay for your shit. Oh my God. Sounds like when I was single. That's why my wife has to pay her own way. She still hasn't learned that rule. So, all right. So before we get out of here, we again, this was fun, dude. Again, I'm really surprised that the biggest disparity we had was our number ones. That I never would have expected that. I mean, I know we have similar tastes, but it's wow. So we do got a lot of cool ideas coming up for future shows, which is awesome. So we'll be posting that stuff. We're trying to get better at pre-posting shows, so that people know what's coming up, and that we're going live. And just remember, it's every other Wednesday at 8:15. I may be suggesting a time change here soon to AJ, but we'll see. Depends on his schedule. But as AJ wanted to talk about for a brief second, when we started the show, I didn't get to see it, but AJ did. AJ got to see Rogue One in IMAX. So take it away. I will give you your platform.
All right. Well, there's one thing you didn't miss out on, John, and that is the poster that came with it. It's the same one that they were giving out at.
Oh, look at that. What a shame. He wants to pick on me, and then he gets dumped from the show. So, yeah, I didn't get to see it, and he thinks it's funny to rip on me for that. So that's what you get, AJ. Just got dumped from the show.
I'm sorry.
What did
were
we
you
learn?
listening? I just said one thing you didn't miss out on.
I was too busy waiting for the perfect chance to drop you out of the show. Anyway, now okay, I'm being serious. Okay, so what you were talking about?
All
a
right.
poster? How did I not miss out on a poster?
Remember when they had Andor posters at Celebration? It was the same
Yeah.
poster that they were handing out here. So
What? Are you
got that.
serious?
Yeah.
Whoa, 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 whoa. Sorry to take you out of your solo layout here, man. I was giving you the floor. Wait a minute. So anybody that went to see Andor in IMAX got the poster that we had to drive or fly to fucking California to Celebration for to get? Are you serious right now?
Yeah. Well, look, because Cleveland IMAX sucks, I still had to drive 2 hours to Columbus to go see it anyway.
All right. So
I was
For
going to
anybody-
grab you one, and then I saw it. I'm like, oh, he's already got it.
All right, so for you guys listening, we'll just make this. The reason I'm pissed off is because they were giving out Andor show posters at Celebration. You could only get them at Celebration, and it was and only for being in the main panel. So I got one of the Andor posters, and I'm like, sweet. So I've got it in my back room right now, flattened out. I'm waiting to frame it till I buy a house next year, but you could only get it at Celebration and only if you're at that one panel, so it's super exclusive. So what AJ's saying is now if you went and saw a movie in a theater at any number of locations throughout the country, you got the same goddamn poster. What is that? So, what is that? That really pisses me off.
Dude, it's 4 months later. Unbunch your panties already.
No.
Damn, dude.
No, I spent a shitload of money to go to that goddamn conference. I want exclusive shit. I'm not wrong. I'm not wrong. So look, dude,
so it's really
I spent like $7 or $8 grand on that trip. So some nitwit that drops like $15 on an IMAX ticket, driving 15 minutes down the goddamn road, they get the same poster? Bullshit. I have every right to get pissed off. It's supposed to be
Okay.
frickin'. See, I knew I should start stealing from Celebration.
You know what you should do? Boycott the series. Just don't watch it. That'll teach them.
Look, Cam McLeish, another great hashtag. Hashtag JT isn't wrong. I'm not. And no, I know you're joking, but I will not boycott the series. I'm not gonna be one of those assholes like the dickheads that didn't. Yeah, that's right. And if you did this, I'm sorry. I'm go ahead and cancel me. These dickheads that didn't go to see Solo because you were pissed off at The Last Jedi. And look what happened. Now we stop having fucking Star Wars movies in the theaters because you had to throw a fit. My fit is legitimate. That fit was stupid. Damn it. See, it's a good thing you didn't bring this up.
My poster means more than someone else's opinion about a movie, God damn it.
Of course it does, because it's my show and I can act that way. That's why I made a podcast.
Right. I've got the camera and the microphone.
God damn you. No one else could do this but me. no one could spend the $250 in equipment. Yeah. I mean, seriously, though, seriously, they're giving away Celebration exclusives just for going to a movie? Then it's not exclusive. That's not cool. Now I don't even have to frame the thing. Because I can, before it was cool. Because if my Star Wars buddies come over and they're like, "Oh, where'd you get that? Oh, you could only get it at Celebration, dude. I got that in Anaheim. Cool." Instead, now there's tons of other people like, "Yeah, I got this from seeing a movie that was already out for years, but they re-put it out for a night in IMAX." Like it totally takes away the coolness of my poster. And I love Rogue One and Andor. Now I'm talking like this, and it's pissing me off.
I hate to tell you, buddy, but it is actually out for a week, not just one night.
I don't give a damn. I spent $7,000 on that trip, and these assholes spent $15 on a movie ticket. I should be getting a poster, not them. It's the same thing I say about. I'm trying to be calm.
You know,
I'm trying to be.
I think I've seen calmer reactions to student debt cancellation.
This is like close to my drunken reaction to little kids getting in line for Star Wars stuff ahead of me. God damn it. I'm the one that spends all this money. That little turd didn't spend nothing. Why can't I cut the line? That guy's not making any money off of that kid.
I was here first.
Exactly.
I was here 35 years first.
Sadly, that is a drunken rant of mine. When I get really frustrated, I miss stuff at Celebration. It's not fair, man. Screw these kids. Screw little kids. I pay money. They don't. Let their dad in, not them. Let their mom in, not them.
Man, it's a good thing your stepkids were more grown by the time you met them, because I could see you pushing a toddler down to get in front.
I wouldn't go that far. I did knock other people down trying to get up front for Van Halen, though, and it succeeded at a Van Halen sound check. I just literally elbowed somebody right into a row of chairs, man. It was like they were in front of me. I got alongside like NASCAR, just like, doink, right with the elbow, right in the chest, knocked him completely over, and then I was literally from me to the screen of my computer to Eddie Van Halen, so that was worth it.
Oh,
Dude,
Jesus. Okay.
It was Eddie Van Halen. I mean, come on. So I injured somebody. Who cares?
That's true. I mean, you got to do that for Eddie because you never know when cancer is going to kill him.
All right, seriously? What? Okay, Eddie Van Halen death and 2 Girls, 1 Cup. What are you doing to this show? What the fuck is wrong with you?
I'm still waiting to talk about Andor, so whatever shuts you up at this point.
The hell you got to talk about Andor for? You got a poster. Good for you. So do I. I got mine through non-nefarious means. So...
Non-nefarious means, okay?
Yes. See, look. Kale says, AJ, you're going to be the one getting canceled. Yeah. All right, why are we talking about
fine.
Andor?
That's fine. Because I saw 5 minutes of it that you haven't.
Are you sure? Are you sure it wasn't what we saw at fucking Celebration? Or are they just going to show that too? Oh, I'm sorry. Did they show Mando Season 3, like 6 minutes of that like we saw? They show that one too? Did they do that?
No.
Okay. Well, did they show
no,
Ahsoka?
It was a new clip from Bad Batch, actually.
That we saw? Did they show that one too? Is that what they're going to do now? Go to Celebration, pay all this money, but then fuck you, we're going to put an old movie out in the theater and show everybody everything you already paid money to see? Is that what's going to happen?
I can't believe you're more riled up about the poster than the fact that you couldn't just go to a movie theater in Cleveland, and we do have IMAX to go see it.
Yeah, but don't.
They totally shit the bed on this.
Dude, I want my exclusive stuff from Celebration to be exclusive. And I don't care if I'm being an elitist or a snob. I don't give a shit.
You are.
I spend a lot of money and a lot of time to go do that. The whole point of it being exclusive to Celebration is so that it's fucking exclusive, okay? Don't be giving it out to some random nitwit. Dude, there's people that don't even give a rat's flying ass about Star Wars that got that poster. Me, I've got it tattooed on my goddamn arms, which I got at Celebration, by the way, which makes my arms Star Wars Celebration exclusives. So there you go. So
I should put you in the solo layout. I don't even know why I'm on camera right now.
Well, dude, it's bullshit. It's Celebration exclusives should remain exclusive.
That you were going to get riled up about. The poster was not the thing I expected.
Because I don't like
unexpected results in tonight's show. Jesus.
I don't like the direction this goes. Because then it basically, like what's going to be an exclusive Celebration next? Because you know what's going to happen. If this stuff starts leaking out more and more, I'm going to go, well, why do I got to go to Celebration? And then the one time I don't go to Celebration is going to be the most amazing time ever. And I'm going to miss out on stuff that's actually exclusive. Like Harrison Ford walks around and gives every fucking buddy a hug. But I'm not there.
Well, you're just going to have to keep going then, I guess.
Son of a bitch. Kale's right. Exclusive to Celebration. You stayed at the same hotel as Temuera Morrison. Yes. And
thank you, Kale. Talk him down.
Actually, Kale, Ewan McGregor was there too. Most of the big stars were at our hotel. We just didn't see all of them because they were very well protected. But yeah, most of them were there. So, all right. So tell us about Andor. I'm
going to keep it spoiler free because I don't know what episode the clip that I watched is from.
Okay.
But it looks just like Rogue One as far as like the color grading and all that stuff. Like the footage
to
looks
it
like it could have just the characters are spot on. It's great. And I know you tweeted about this today, but I gotta say that there is a noticeable difference when they're actually out at a place and not in the volume with a flat screen behind them. You can tell that's one of the ways that this looks just like Rogue One is that Rogue One took place in places, and they went to places to film this series.
I just calmed down, and then you got to bring up my tweet. I was pissed, and I calmed down. Now I'm pissed again because something I was pissed off about earlier. What are you doing?
It's just
anyway.
I'm telling you, man, it looks amazing, and it looks amazing because they put cameras in a place and started filming. It's gritty as hell. It's got that like. You know how like the Bourne, you say you like the Black Widow movie because it's got like that Bourne trilogy kind of feel where like the violence is like super visceral.
Yeah.
Like the fight scenes in Rogue One are kind of like that too, and definitely in this. Like everything's all like rusty and metallic, and it feels like if anything pops off of anything, it's going to like kill somebody. So like they've got the tension there, they've got the tone set perfectly, and it's got that sort of like that spy thriller kind of vibe that you like so much where everything, it seems a little uncertain. Like you're not sure who you can trust. You're not sure who's on the up and up, and anyone could stab anyone in the back at any given time, and no one feels safe. So even in the 5-minute continuous scene that I saw, I'm like, well, first off, he's talking to a character that's not in Rogue One, so we don't know what that guy's story is. But even beyond that, like anybody that shows up, you're like, I don't know. And you don't even know who Cassian is at this point, really, because it's 5 years prior to Rogue One. So who knows where he's at in his journey from shitheel to hero.
Shitheel, nice.
Yeah. It's going to be awesome, dude. It's going to be so awesome. I'm so pumped for this show.
Okay. I mean, I am too. I mean, Rogue One is absolutely, we've done our movie rankings, and I had Rogue One in my top 3.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, to your point about the volume, I mean, I don't know if you saw this, but they built an actual city block that's like 5 or 6 blocks long to film in. So it's like an actual physical, like they built this whole like little city thing out. So I have no doubt that it's going to look amazing. I can't wait for it, especially because they've already announced that the first season's 12 episodes. Originally it was supposed to be like 8, and then they told us at Celebration that it was going to be 12. I think, yeah, it was
it's
like
weird. It keeps shifting around. I'm not sure what
Yeah.
the count is now. I just know we're getting 3 of them all at once, which is okay. I'll wait a little bit longer.
Okay. I'm surprised they didn't let it leak that it was going to be 12 episodes before we even got to Celebration, just on like, StarWars.com and Star Wars Twitter and Facebook. Just say, hey, Andor's going to be 12 episodes, but we're going to talk about that at Celebration. So they could have done that. But
Well, that's
yeah.
Celebration exclusive, you see.
Yeah, I'm sure. Just wait till like, man, I tell you what, I need to hit up Dan Madsen and be like, boy, did you do right getting out of there, because those greedy bastards. I also have contact information to somebody who helps book Celebration. It's just he doesn't respond very often. This is probably why. But yeah,
email Repop. Give them an earful about their poster policy. I'm sure they'll care.
Yeah. They'll send me a letter with a tube poster. It'll say, thank you for your email. We appreciate your concern. It'll be the same damn poster. And then we'll have a whole episode about me ranting. But
you'll have a Celebration exclusive poster tube.
That's, yeah, sure. I'm sure it's going to be one of those ones they charge like $5 for. But yeah, anyway, I know we're getting long here, but yeah, dude, I'm super excited for it. Rogue One is awesome. The footage that we saw at Celebration was kick-ass. A couple of our other Star Wars buddies, messaged me, telling me about the Andor footage and said that it looks great. So yeah, I'm so excited, and I'm glad it's not just one season. So I think this is like a perfect example of one of those things that it looks like they're going to be able to bring in something else to to the Star Wars lore, because you're not just going to, here's 24 episodes of Andor's backstory. Okay, we're done. Like, no, there's going to be other characters that come into this. I think we've already been told like Mon Mothma's in it. Like Saw Gerrera is going to be in it and stuff. So we're going to see all these cool characters in live action, which means they're going to probably bring in other characters that we don't know that I'm sure we're going to end up loving. And to close up shop, for the night, man, you can feel free to spoil or not spoil. We already know the character is going to be in there. Did you see K2SO in this footage?
No.
Okay. Well, there you go. They said he's in it, but they haven't shown a single second of footage, or they have not mentioned his name at all since it was confirmed that Alan Tudyk is back as K2SO. So I'm really excited. I love that they're keeping that under wraps.
I think that might just be season 2, because they covered in a comic book. They showed his introduction to K2. So I'm assuming based on the timeline, because there's a time jump, I think, between the seasons. So that might be how they just slip it in instead of having to like retell something that's already in another format.
Okay. All right. Well, I just think it's cool that
as
they're,
long as we get them.
Yeah, seriously, right? Who doesn't want more K2, man? So, well, dude, super fun episode. Again, we got a lot of cool stuff coming up. Hopefully, when we tweet out our comprehensive list, basically what we're doing with that is we're assigning a point value to each of our picks and doing an average. So it's basically if our choices were averaged out, what would our top 23 be? So we'll be releasing that on Twitter. If you don't follow us on Twitter, it is NHC Podcast. So check that out. We don't tweet a lot. I got to get better at that. But as I've said on the show before, I just, I think I'm going to get more into posting on social media, by the way. I just can't read the comments. That's where I get caught up, man. But, yeah, so at NHC Podcast, we're going to be posting the comprehensive scoring of both of our lists together, so we can basically get a conglomerate average of where we ranked all the movies. So hopefully you guys enjoyed these last 2 episodes, actually last several episodes. We've been on quite a Marvel kick. We're definitely going to do something different for our next episode, which at this point, I'm bad at math. When is that going to be? Like
September 14th.
That's right, the 14th. Okay, so September 14th at 8:15 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, we're going to be back right here on YouTube and Facebook. So please tune in, jump in the chat and everything. To our good friends, Discuss Metal Joe, Joseph Wren, Kale McLeish, obviously Mimar, KXM Scary. Thank you guys. My buddy DQ, thanks for checking out the show. Man, you guys are awesome. Thank you for the support. Thank you for jumping in and giving us your 2 cents worth. Don't forget Mimar, Kale. I owe you guys some money if you buy those shirts, because that AJ's Wrong shirt is just going to be classic. So actually, you guys should email nerfherdercouncil@gmail.com and let AJ know what design the logo should be. Should it be like a Star Wars logo? Should it be like the logo at the top of the screen right now, the Marvel logo? Like, let him know which one you want, and he'll throw it up there for you, man. Like, you guys are getting fully custom stuff for free. That's not too shabby. So
Yeah, right. Boy,
But,
we really are desperate for viewers, aren't we?
it's all good. But yeah, thank you guys very much for watching. I know AJ, it's been a blast getting into this with you. So again, we had an awesome idea earlier. You did, I should say. I'm not going to take credit. One of these Fridays that I'm available, we're going to do a WTF Friday, and we are going to do a watch along to the Eternals, because it sucks, and I've never seen it. So it's going to be my live reaction to the Eternals. So we're going to figure that out so we can do that on a Friday night. But yeah, we've got a lot of cool topics coming up for you guys. If you guys have any show ideas, just hit us up at NHC Podcast, or again, email us at nerfherdercouncil@gmail.com and give us your ideas. We'd love to get your input, and if there's something you want us to talk about that you guys can jump in on, you're more than welcome to do so. So again, guys, don't forget, we are brought to you by Audible. Go to audibletrial.com/NHC for your 30-day trial and a free audiobook download. Go to shop.nerfherdercouncil.com to get customizable Nerf Herder Council swag. You can get on anything you can imagine. T-shirts, hoodies, long sleeve T-shirts, you name it. Before I finish my outro, Kale says he still wants to see a James Bond episode. I am not a Bond fan. Where do you stand on Bond, AJ?
Enjoyable to watch, but I'm not really like a huge honk for it either. I have not seen what is the most recent one? Tomorrow Never Dies, or To Live Is to Die, or I don't know.
Isn't that a Metallica
Tire Maker?
Technically, it's Germaker, but yeah, Kale, let us know what your favorite Bond movie is. Maybe we'll both watch it and we'll kind of do like a dig into that one. No Time to Die, he says, is the new one. Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
All right. Well, Kale, if you want to jump on, you've been on my Dream Theater show. So if you have a favorite, like a by far favorite James Bond movie, you can let us know. Maybe we'll have Kale on as a special guest host, and we'll kind of deep dive his favorite James Bond movie. We'll see. We'll do that sometime.
Cool.
That'd be cool. So
Bond
yeah,
watch along or something.
yeah, that'd be fine. So yeah, guys, thank you very much. Appreciate you guys. Again, we will be back here on Wednesday, September 14th at 8:15 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And again, if you're watching on YouTube, don't forget to click those like and subscribe buttons so that you get notified every time we go live. So until next time, I am your host, JT at Dog Pound Jedi. He is AJ.
At Drake Adams 579.
And we will catch you guys next time.